Other immigration enforcement operations were reported near the Home Depot stores across LA County today.
Marco Chipantisa, a desperate father, holding a photo of his daughter Jocelyn while begging federal authorities for her release.
Those here speaking out against the raids and the person they blame at the very top.
Dad ended up in a detention facility for more than 6 months while his son went from a shelter for children into foster care.
Yesterday, we interviewed a fellow named Diego, who is an illegal immigrant from Mexico. He came to the United States when he was 10. And one of the things he kept saying, a phrase he used over and over, was a normal life. Hoping to get back to a normal life. He had been through some things with his wife having cancer and other sorts of disruptions in his life. And I guess his big question right now is whether he ever does get back to a normal life. And he seems to think that that's not likely to happen, at least for a while. So you're a graduate student down from Santa Barbara, and you were saying that there had been some deportations of other grad students at your school?
I don't actually know anyone specifically, but yeah, a few of my friends have mentioned, especially early on, like some of the Chinese grad students were deported.
Do you have a kind of one main issue that you really care about that brings you out to things like this?
Two of the things that are top of mind for me right now are probably the cuts to Medicaid and just generally slashing the social safety net. The other thing is just the lack of due process for any of the deportations.
Who are your clients typically? What are they like? What are their backgrounds? What brings them to your door?
I described the population type, a lot of unaccompanied children, people in detention. Why those groups? They're just so especially vulnerable.
Have there been changes in the demands for your services or in what you're doing in the last year or so since there's been a sort of stepped up enforcement effort?
I'd say yes. And our services were always, and I'll get Evelyn to add in as well, but our services have always been incredibly busy. We've had, for as long as I can remember, wait lists of people to see us for services. And that has, so it's hard to sort of say, have we become busier? Yes, but we were already maxed out. The last month, we're seeing a lot of fear. We're not seeing it. People are telling us, we are scared to come into your office. Can you talk to us via phone?
So that they'll be arrested here, or that someone will be waiting outside the door when they leave, or
yeah,
is there a reason for that fear? Have you seen that? Or
I don't want to cast judgment on whether or not people's fears are reasonable or not. This is what they're telling us. They're seeing in the news that things are happening.
Yeah, or Prince, I saw there was a flyer in your lobby advising people about things like churches and schools and hospitals and things like that. Or are you seeing a lot of arrests at those places? Or
do you want to talk about some of the things that you're seeing with our clients?
Yes, the area that has a lot of questions that people should really ask questions about is what's happening in those detention centers. There was an incident of someone that we had helped with, assisted with helping them prepare their own application for asylum. We saw that their case had been dismissed, which then led us to then check to make sure whether they had been arrested. And when we looked at the ICE locator, which is available online to locate individuals that have been arrested at ICE, it was clear that they had been arrested. So their case was dismissed. And then probably we assume, just based on what we have been seeing at the courts, they were detained probably right at the court hearing or as soon as they stepped out. And then her and her 19-year-old daughter were both now located in Texas. Since then, they have disappeared off of the ICE locator, which raises questions as to where they might be at this point in time.
Now I feel like I'm going outside the scope of this interview. The system is extremely complex. In an ideal world, you would not need attorneys to get you through this. There's a right under immigration law to seek asylum, and yet the process is so onerous. And there's a reality that there are 11 million plus undocumented people here. And so, this is tearing families apart in Los Angeles.